Now, in the hustle of decorating your interiors, you might end up making your space look cheap without even knowing it. Now, it could also be due to budgeting factors, but in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you some very key mistakes that a lot of us make every now and again that can easily make our spaces look cheap. And of course, I'll also be sharing how to correct them. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Faazati Ali and I'm an interior designer who's always giving the best tips on how to make your space look stunning. I also do DIYs and give you guys affordable ideas on how to make your own home deco pieces. I also paint, so do feel free to hit the subscribe button below and join the family. I upload videos every other week. Anyway guys, let's dive straight into today's video where I'll be sharing with you some great tips on how to avoid making your house look cheap. None of us want our houses to look cheap, so yeah, let's get rid of those mistakes. Now, the fastest and simplest way of making your house look cheap is having clutter. Now, I can't stress this enough, but walking into a space that has so many different items lying around is the fastest way to make your space look completely disorganized and clean and cheap. Try to avoid having a lot of items in one space. Try to avoid having too many accessories in an area. Try to arrange every item in your space and try to have as much storage as possible for things that do not need to be inside. Store away all the extra items in drawers. When it comes to the bedroom, you can go for beds with storage underneath. Have shoe racks where you can store away shoes, and maybe just get rid of anything that is not significant in this space. Now, sometimes you may be holding on to items that are not even important. Try to figure out, do I really need this item in this space? And if your answer is maybe your answer is actually no, so just get rid of it. So keep your spaces clean, keep your spaces organized. This is the fastest way to make your space look a little bit expensive. So yes, say no to clutter. Now, the next mistake that almost all of us have made at some point is having exposed wire cords. Now, this just looks horrible, and not only that, it looks cheap. So you want to totally ensure that you are concealing your wire cords and keeping the space looking as neat and as clean as possible. This will not only improve the aesthetics around that area, but will also give it a more appealing look. Wires hanging everywhere in any area of your home, whether it's under the TV, in your study with your computers and all, it does not look good. It will never look good. It really just ruins the whole look of that area. So this is something you totally want to get rid of if you want your space to look better. Now, another key thing you definitely want to avoid is going for a small area rug. Now, going for an area rug that probably just fits in the middle of the room where you have none of your furniture pieces even lying on top of it, it looks like an incomplete room. It looks like the composition does not come together. It looks like you went ahead and bought a carpet because you couldn't afford a bigger one. So the first thing you want to do is to figure out the scale of your room before going out there to buy a carpet or rug. Try to ensure the carpet you're getting, once placed in the space, at least the furniture pieces can be lying on it. Even if it's just the front legs of your sofas, that is more than enough. But avoid having something that just sits in the middle on its own. This completely ruins the look, makes your space look cheap, and even aesthetically does not give an appealing vibe. Now, another mistake you want to avoid is going for mass-produced artwork. Now, what do I mean by this? Now, a lot of times you may walk into stores that sell a lot of artworks, but these particular artworks are not done by artists. These are artworks that have been printed, and so they can come in hundreds, thousands, and so on. You like something, someone else is gonna like the same thing. So you, him, her, you all bought the same thing, you all have them in your houses. Someone who knows him and you walks into your space and is like, I have seen this somewhere. Why does everybody have it? It happens even with clothes, with shoes. Some trend comes out and everybody's after this particular trend. Same thing happens with mass-produced artwork. It does not give your space a unique look at all. It looks very common and does not stand out in any way. What you want to do is go for original art pieces. Now you can simply do this by working with artists. Locally, there are always artists who you can find very beautiful artworks from. Now I think a lot of people have this wrong interpretation that original art pieces can be quite expensive compared to the ones that you find at the store, but this is really wrong. You want to try and find locally in your space, in your country, artists that produce beautiful artwork that you can still hang in your space, and you'll be really surprised at some of their prices. I am one of those artists and painters. I do a lot of abstract paintings, and a lot of time people think that I probably sell my artwork expensively. I don't. The same price you find on my artwork is the same price you'll find on the artworks at the stores. But my artwork is something that I've done for you, something creative, something original. When you're working with an artist, you can always have them do something you want, something that represents something in your life, something unique, something that just speaks to you. When you put this in your house, not only does it make it look aesthetic, something that everybody will be wowed about, but it will have a meaning to you, something that is at the end of the day sentimental to you. So try to work with artists. I'm here too. You want an artwork, reach out to me. I will do for you something lovely. Another thing I'd advise you to avoid that can easily make your space look cheap is going for phrase art. What do I mean by this? All these phrases that have become very common, such as live, laugh, love, and you find these frames plastered everywhere, in every home, in every room, and it's just like, this is a little bit too much. Try to avoid that. Go for something unique. Go for, if you have to have the phrase art, go for unique words. Come up with something of your own, something that has meaning to you. Having the same words in so many different places with everybody does not stand out anymore. It's just like, I've seen this before. So try to avoid that and keep your space, always go for pieces and accessories that are unique to you. This will make your space stand out. Now another mistake that so many of us make is going for matching furniture sets. Now this totally makes a space look cheap. You want to avoid this. You want to go for a mix and match type of setting. Now if you go for something, let's say a Chesterfield sofa, you don't have to have the rest of your seats in the same style. Go for a different style, could be different patterns, different color. This will look so much better. Even in the bedroom, try to avoid matching everything. The bed does not have to look exactly the same as the cupboard and the side tables and everything else. Try to keep things, mix and match. This looks so much better. You'll be surprised once you try it. So matching sets, try to mix and match. It adds a lot of personality. Now to avoid a cheap look when it comes to your window treatments, avoid short curtains and hanging your curtains low. Now this is something that I've mentioned in so many videos, but having short curtains completely ruins the look of a space. If you ever go for short curtains, I assure you your place looks very cheap. Totally avoid it. Try to have your curtains going all the way to the floor, and try to hang your curtains from the ceiling. The difference will be so huge. You will see it. Your space will look big. Your space will look more appealing. So this is something you totally want to incorporate in your space. Now this is a mistake that we've made a lot of times, but this is something that you can easily change. All you have to do is get curtains that are long enough and try to figure out how you're going to hang them closer to the ceiling rather than really low. Now check out my video on the do's and don'ts of hanging curtains, and you're going to learn so much about how to go about this process efficiently. I'm going to link it up here and in the description below. Now another thing you want to avoid is having too many DIY furniture pieces. Now I know DIY saves us a lot, it helps a lot. I love doing DIYs myself. It allows you to save money and create your own beautiful pieces. But what happens when we do it too much? Your chairs are DIY, your table is DIY, your cupboards are DIY, everything in this space is DIY. For some reason, somebody who walks into your space will be able to tell that a lot of the items are DIY. It's almost like, oh wait, is everything made of cardboard? It's cute, it's beautiful, it's creative, but it also kind of gives a cheap vibe. What you want to do is still have your DIY items. This is beautiful, but also go ahead and bring in something, something that will also add in a luxe vibe into the space. Try to, let's say, balance it out. This will look so much better and way more appealing. Now, something else you want to avoid that can easily make your space look cheap is having a crowded entryway. Now, you want to ensure when you are walking into a space, you don't have shoes cluttered all over there, you don't have a space where you can hang coats so you just throw some over there looking very disorganized. Remember, the entryway is the first place someone glances into immediately they walk into your space. Keep it organized. Store away shoes in a place that I don't have to see them. Try to have accessories in this space. Hang a mirror on the wall, have some plants, have a welcome mat on the door, something that actually makes the space look aesthetic. This will make a huge difference than having an overcrowded entryway. And at the end of the day, an organized entryway will give your space a luxe vibe. Now, the last thing you want to avoid is having empty walls. Now, when you walk into a mansion anywhere or a place that is expensive, what do you first come across? You're always like this, because there's artwork, there's something standing out and on the walls. So having empty walls can easily make your space look cheap. Try to create a focal point. Go ahead and add an artwork. If you're minimalist and your style is all about being minimal, have a simple art piece on the wall. If you're an industrial style kind of person, you can go ahead and hang a bicycle and create a very interesting focal point. If you love bohemian, have a macrame on the wall. And there's so many other things that you can use to create focal points on the wall. I have done an entire video mentioning a whole lot of items that you can use on your wall to create a beautiful focal point. From plates to baskets, there are so many affordable ways of creating a stunning focal point in your space and ensuring that your walls are not staying bare. I will link that video I did up here and in the description below. Check it out and fill up those bare walls. So this is some of the most common design errors that we make that end up cheapening our spaces. I hope you guys got to learn something and will be able to avoid these mistakes and correct them. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe and share. I'll be truly grateful. Anyway guys, see you again with another video. Love you guys so much. Bye bye.